into January now. Hi, everyone. Did you miss me? I missed you. All right. Okay, Lola. I missed you, but I'll be really honest with you. I think I needed to have that weekend off because I still have some lingering COVID symptoms that are troublesome, but resting is important. So I did do a lot of resting and did a lot of thinking, and I have some uh, great weeks planned. Not just 1 week. I have a whole 3 weeks planned, all the way to February. I have planned. And what I decided that I was going to do is I was going to publish the schedule ahead of time, which I have done on both Facebook and on my uh, YouTube channel. So you'll see it as a scheduled stream, okay? Which you can enter, I guess, before it even starts. You can enter into the stream. And that's how people show up right away. So you can either watch me on Facebook, either on my personal page if you're a personal friend, or if you are just a follower, then you can watch me on Miss Rita to the Rescue live, and then you can watch me live on YouTube. And hopefully, as the year progresses, and I now have a website designer who's going to be working with me to develop my website, there'll be other places such as my website that will actually, there'll be the website that will give you a schedule of everything that we're doing. And then after the show, will be a place to keep the video. So if, for instance, you find YouTube a little confusing or Facebook a little confusing on replays, we're going to have it so that on YouTube you'll be able to find it. Plus, if there are certain what's the word I'm looking for, materials that you're going to need, it's going to all be listed on the website. I am so looking forward to that. And I think it's going to be starting this month. And plus, we'll be able to expand other things, such as my fabulous love of cooking. I might not be the best cook in the world, but I love to cook. This weekend, I did a lot of cooking, and I was so happy to be in my kitchen and all of that. So I hope you all are great. I want to say hello to everybody. Let's see. Hi, Diana and Leslie and Penny, Faye and Kirsten and Bren. And who else? Ardeen. And who else we got? Deborah. All wonderful people. Thank you so much for coming today. We're going to have a great time. We're going to be making a card that you can see right here. And there are a number of variations that I want to show you with this card, whether it's in the materials or in the way that you decide you're going to cut it out. There are lots of cards that are like pre-made for you in Design Space. You don't have to start from just a blank card and work your way, and this is one of those kinds of things. Also, this image is really good in if you cut it out in vinyl. I've cut it out in vinyl before and used it on a frame, and it was really pretty. I actually cut it out in like adhesive foil vinyl that was red. It was so pretty. I had it as like a little frame in my house. But I thought this was a fun card. I have a number of fun love cards. You can send a love card even if it's not Valentine's Day. There's no limit on when you can send a little bit of love, and I am starting to think that this world needs love. The old Burt Bacharach song, "What the World Needs Now is Love, Sweet Love." That's how I feel. And I'm going to do my best to spread it around, and so I'm hoping you can help me with that. Speaking of helping me, I wanted to let you know that Oh, hi, Carol. I want to let you know that our January giveaways are up and running. Guess what we're giving away this month? Five, count them, five Cricut BrightPad Goes. These are the ones that can be charged and you can take with you, so you can weed and do lighted work on the go, whether it's like, I don't know, in your car when you're a passenger, or maybe sitting on the sofa with your family, so you're not stuck in your craft studio. Or maybe you've got, a cake in the oven and you want to weed something. I've done that before, where I bring the little projects in with me into the kitchen while I'm doing stuff that require a lot of steps. So the Cricut BrightPad Go is great for that, and it's also great just as a general lighting source. If you like to trace or color. I don't know about you, but I'm getting older and my eyes just aren't what they used to be. And I do wear glasses. I've worn glasses for at least 30 years. Um, but still, even when I have the glasses, it's hard to see. And I just love that bright pad for that very reason. And the charge lasts a really long time. Anyway, if you are if you were considering buying one, or you just kind of wanted one, it was on your wish list, do make sure that you put your name in for one of our five giveaways. We're going to be pulling the winners, and the winners are done through rafflecopter, and I will put the link in the description of the video. Okay, but we'll be pulling the winners one at a time over the course of the month, so that way if you get your name in now and you're not picked on the first or the second, your name is still in there, okay, for the third or fourth or fifth. And guess what? You can put your name in every single day. So that increases your chances. So there are some rules, but there's no purchase necessary. Some of the rules are, if you were a major winner, and when I say major, I mean like not the $50 winners, but like if you won a mug press or a joy or something like that, if you won something like that. And while I'm here, because I want to just tell you, I have to apologize if you're new to me. You probably don't know this, but uh I am a cancer survivor. I last year, well, actually, it was 2020 when the COVID was first starting. I was diagnosed with cancer, and I went through all the treatment, chemo, radiation, and surgery. I don't like to, dwell on that. But one of the things that happened to me, and I just thought, you should know, is that I have what's called chemo brain. It's like a fog, and so what happens is I forget things. And so I just want to tell you that if I forget a word or if I forget to return your email, this is why I'm bringing this up, because my friend Faye Norman, I have to get your address. If you could please, I'm just now remembering, could you send me an email at missreadittotherescue@gmail.com, because I need to send you something and I keep forgetting. So, if you sent me an email and I haven't responded, know that I do read all my emails. It just takes a little bit of time sometimes for me, and sometimes I just forget. And it's a sad, unfortunate thing that I'm trying to continue to work on by taking notes and whatever. So, yeah, and I'm fine. I'm all better, and no cancer, and cancer free for over a year now, I think. And I what do I know I get that diagnosis in February, but it'll be a whole year. But chemo takes a lot out of your body. And I guess I figured I was invincible, and I wasn't. So if you are struggling with issues with your health. I just want to also mention that, you know what, you're important. So take care of yourself because we want you around. So if that means you have to go for blood work or you have to get a mammogram or whatever, and you've been putting it off, dentist appointment, whatever, um, do it because people want you around. We want you around, and it's so important to take care of yourself. Okay. Um, oh no, Becky tested positive for COVID. I Oh really? Oh, gee. Okay, sorry, I'm reading the chat. Oh, so Becky, I also tested for COVID at Christmas time, and I will tell you, I still have some COVID. I don't think I got it that bad, but it's just sort of lingering. Like my nose is a little stuffy. Every once in a while, I have a little cough, and so I'm tired. Malaise. I love that word. Isn't that a great word? Malaise. Anyway, so I thought I'd just mention that. Um, on the top of the hour is that we are giving away and the prizes anybody can win, and do get your name in if you're already following me on YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate you. And if you already are following and you still want to get your name in for the giveaway, you can do it every day. And all you have to do is once you're subscribed, you just have to comment, like, share, do all that great stuff. And what will that will do is it'll increase the number of people that get to join us. This is the most amazing group on the internet, especially for Cricut, because everyone is so encouraging and loving and kind. And we need a kindness overload. And I think this is going to be the start of it. Honestly, we have the most kind people here, and we share. And I have made so many friends in the last 2 years. So let's get started, okay? We're going to be doing this love card. It's a very interesting shaped card. Here's what it looks like. Now, it's a really a shaped card. Look at the inside. So you can do this in a number of ways. This may not appeal to you. So if you wanted to, you could put a backing on here if you wanted to. It is not super sturdy, but it's sturdy enough. It has 2 layers on the front. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's also writing on here. And then you have this little area, not a big area, but a little area that you could write all of your message on. Okay. And this is from one designer called a designer named Alexis Maddox. And she has a number of image sets in Cricut. I think most all of them are in Design Space are Cricut Access images. So, what do I mean by that? So, let's start off first with a brand new canvas. And we're going to go and look for Alexis's images. So, we're going to go over here to image. And we are going to, once we get here, look at all these great images. So, you know what I really love is that they just add images, 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 all all the time. And they're just so much fun. And but it's a little overwhelming, right? Am I right? Like, I mean, you can search for something if you were going to type in the word love, um, or maybe you type in love card, and it's gonna whittle it down. But then, the results are, whoops, what's going on here? Well, look at that. Okay, this is why we do live because anyway, it says the results are almost 15,000. Well, there we go. There they are. So look at all these love cards. Lovely, lovely. There's the card we want to do, but you also are getting a ton of cards. Now, if you're looking for ideas for love cards, then here you go. But if you were looking for this specific card, an easier way to do it is to go to image sets right here, image sets. Now we can either find Alexis Maddox. If you want to see all of Alexis's stuff, you can type in her name, Alexis, and it's Mattox, Alexis Maddox. And you will see that she has some really adorable, a lot of nice quick cut cards. So if you like these kinds of, if you don't have a joy, but you like that insert card type of thing, this is where you would go. Look, she's got 113 images of quick cut cards, and there's going to be some here that we're going to be doing next week. And then also these everyday cards, but this is the image set that we're going to go to. It is classically modern cards, and this came out, oh, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I have trouble with time, but I think maybe it came out in 2010. And there are lots of great, wonderful cards in here, including several gatefold cards, which we are going to do a gatefold card. I'm going to show you how to do a gatefold card coming up. Actually, I'm going to show you a really neat trick about gatefold cards. Anyway, so there's lots of wonderful cards here. A lot of them are very cut out. I don't know the name, classically modern. I don't know, but it's really cute. I've done a lot of these cards. I've received some of these cards as well. And you'll see here is our love card right down here. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to go down here where it says add to canvas. Can you see that? Yeah. Don't be sorry, Barb. I have to say hello to everyone. Hi, Barb. How are you? How's my Gracie doing? Okay, so here's what we get when it comes in. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about is the envelope. I am famous for not doing envelopes. I'm going to ungroup this. But the reason why is that a lot of times these envelopes are just so big that they just don't quite fit with my 12 by 12 mat. This one is no exception. It is a 12.25-inch width. That's too big. I can't go over 11 and a half, right? So we're going to talk about the envelope in a second. Let's just look at this really cool card. I'm going to group it. One thing I want to point out is when it comes in, you're going to see this little thing over here. You see this like a little caution sign where it says caution, like a little exclamation point, and then there's a pen. That's the layer that has the pen. What that means is, and you will encounter this with some of the older images, is that when they converted images over into Design Space way back when, maybe it was 2015, they had trouble assigning all of the pen colors to the cards. So all you need to do is click on that layer and then come up here, and you'll see here under operation it says pen and a question mark. So to fix this, click on the question mark and then just choose any pen, black, whatever color you want to choose. I think this looks good in black, so that's what I'm doing. So here we go. And now that has resolved over here. No more little exclamation point warning sign. Okay. So let's have a look at this card. It comes in at a width of 7.144 and a height of 10. I am a stickler for sizes, so I am going to unlock this and change the size to 7 by 10 because that is an A7 card size. It's one of the most popular card size. So you got A2, which is 4.25 by 5.5, and you got A7, which is 5 by 7 or 7 by 5, which in this case, it's the height is the 10 and it's going to fold. So it's 7 by 10 and folds to 7.5. You'll also notice on here that there are a few layers and there is some scoring. So I want to just ungroup it so you can just sort of see. This is the background that's going to cut out. You see like this? This is the card. So attached to the card is scoring and the pen and then the cut. Now, if you like this idea of a shaped card, these are very easy to replicate. So I'm going to just kind of quickly show you what it is that they've done. So in the event that you found like a word that was very simple shape and you wanted to make this kind of card, and I'm just going to take this love as an example. You're going to first duplicate it, which duplicates right up here. Okay. And then you don't stack it together, right? Because it needs to be opposite. You're going to use something called flip. Here's flip right here. You have two choices, either horizontal or vertical. In this case, we want vertical. And there you go. There are your two cards and they are flipped. You do have to join them together by welding them. So you would just simply uh, select them both and weld. Okay. And actually I didn't weld them good enough because you see this has these lines here. So if that happens to you, just use your back button. I love the back button, don't you? So you use the back button just to kind of nudge these together a little bit and then do that again. Weld them together again. Once you do that correctly, you will not have those lines there, but you probably want a score. So you can get a score line over here under shapes. When you go to shapes, this here, it's actually not a score line. I think it's a cut line, but I think they changed it. It used to be called a score line, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. So you take this score line, you can turn it, and then you can stretch it to be the size of your card like this. See that? I'm just stretching it like this, and I'm just popping it into place here. If you really want to get a good placement, you can do a line center and that will absolutely center it in there. And then once you have that in there, you can hit attach. Now, the reason why I mention that is for this card, it's not super sturdy. So if you wanted to make, say, like it be a little sturdier, you could do this, or you don't have to do it. Right? You don't have to do it. Also, what if you don't want to make the card? So let's talk about that. So if you don't want to make the card, you could just lop off the back end of this. Let me show you how you do that. Let's first of all take this piece and we are going to detach because detaching, we're not moving anything. It has scoring, it has writing, and it's attached. But if we wanted to just cut out the love and put it on a square of paper because we want it to be a little more sturdy, let's say, we can do something called slice. We do that by adding in a shape. I always go for my favorite shape, square. And shapes are here. And you see that there are all of these shapes, especially if you're subscribe, excuse me, a subscriber, you have all these advanced shapes. But this one here, I'm just going to take the square. And then at the square, I'm going to change it's obviously it's a square. So it's the same size either way. So I'm going to have to unlock it. And I'll make it, I don't know, 5 by 7. Oh, wrong way. I need to make it 7 by 5. Oh, I made it 75. Oh my goodness. 7 by 5, Rita. 7 by 5. Okay, here we go. So then what we're going to do is we're going to, now you can only do this on simple cuts. That's why I had you detach the writing and the scoring. And in fact, if you want to, you can like sort of hide those if they're getting in the way of your brain, if your brain is not understanding this too well. Let's go ahead and hide. Where are they? Where there's the pen, there's score. Okay, so if they're getting in the way of your brain and you want to just get rid of them, detach and then hide them if you wanted to. Okay, so we basically we have this square that we've put over to the part that we don't want anymore. This is called slicing. Okay, so make sure you have that all lined up. And if you want a very specific lineup, you can do a line top like that, and that will very specifically align your cutout. Then you can select this whole thing and come down here to slice. Slice is, it looks like two shapes kind of touching. Once you do that, you'll see something happen, and boom, there's my slice. I just sliced off those pieces, this background of this card. Isn't that great? So I can eliminate these. I don't need them anymore. And I actually didn't do this 100% correct. And do you know why? Look over here. I still have a little line right here. Oops. So we want to fix that. I'm going to add another shape, do the same thing where I unlock it and bring it down here and then slice. See, everybody makes mistakes. Don't believe anybody who tells you they never make mistakes, because they're lying. And we're just going to get rid of that line. So now you can have this. And if you'd like to, you can make this into, I don't know, a cutout if you wanted to, for a frame, maybe an 8x10 frame. You can still now, you can change the, uh, um, change the size to whatever size you want. Let's say you wanted to make this into a sign, maybe like a 8x10 or 11x14. 11x14 is a little bit big. What's the other one? 9x11. So you would just go ahead here and change your width, and you can just keep changing, changing it to whatever size you want. That's the beauty of Design Space. You can take an image and change it so much that it becomes your own. Okay. All right. So in terms of the card, that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to go, let's see, I'm going to go and delete all of this stuff because I want to talk about the envelope. So let's have a look at this envelope. Oh, this is that. What happened to my envelope? Oh, did I delete the envelope? Oh, okay. Maybe I did. So I'm going to go back to images, and I'm going to look for my Alexis Maddox card, and I can go image sets, and there it is. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that image in again. All right. And then what I'll do is ungroup it, and we will just hide the whole card. All right. Hide the whole card. So here is the envelope. Now, curiously, this envelope is very large. So here you go. Its width is 12.256 by 9.181. That is the size from each of the tabs. However, this is for a 5x7-inch card, and what I found out is if I pull in a shape, my friend the square, I can make room by, let's see, I can judge how big it needs to be by adding this shape. So this is my 5x7-inch card, and I want to have a little bit of room around it, right? So that's what I've got. Okay, so a couple things about that is we can make this change. I'm going to put this over here by simply selecting the envelope and unlocking it, and then just sort of changing it ever so slightly so that it will hold my card. Does that help? It's almost at the place that it's 11 and a half. The maximum is 11 and a half. So let's go ahead and change it to 11.5 for the width. And does that fit? Absolutely. This is my card. So I'm just pretending this is my card. Okay. So now it fits, and now I can cut it out. So also on this card, you have these little cutouts. That's what this is for. It's an envelope liner, and you're going to put this behind here. And when you cut it out, you'll have these cutouts. If you don't like this, if you don't like making envelopes, just go to Michael's and buy 5 by 7 inch envelopes. That's what I do. I don't like to waste my time making envelopes. Nobody seems to keep them, but some people really like them. So I thought I would just mention that because some of these older images, they don't come in correctly. You can also go and look for an envelope if you wanted to. Okay, so let's get back to the card. Where's my card? There it is. So to cut this out, we hit make it. Oh, incompatible. Why? Because my new image, I didn't resolve the pen over here like I did at the first in the first place. So now I have to go again to operation and choose my black pen. Okay. So now let's try to make it, and it goes. Woo! Okay. So it does have, oops, one of the things that happen here, I'm going to cancel, is that there's an envelope hiding out here somewhere. Does that ever happen to you? It happens to me all the time. So there's an envelope hiding out here. So I'm going to just boop, make my screen smaller. Sometimes you have like images that are way down here, and you just have to make your screen small to see them. And that's what that's all about. Okay, so we're going to hit make it. Hi, Catherine. Okay, so here's me with this card. First of all, I noticed that the background's not there. Why? What did I do? Let me go back up here and see. There it is. You see? So, you know what? I might get to the make it screen like 6 times before I actually cut it. That's okay. That's what that's for. It's kind of like the setup. All right. So here we are. Here's my insert for the card, and here is my actual card. I like to make cards in twos because I have a mom, and she absolutely loves my cards, and she's in like a nursing facility, well, a retirement facility, and she has friends, and they love my all of my cards too. So I always make them in two. Then I get to demonstrate for you, and also I have a card left over. Okay, so I always do it in twos. You don't have to do that, but once you have done that, you're going to have a look and see, this is going to work out. I'm going to use 8.5 by 11 inch paper. Now, the other thing that you can switch up is you can change the color. It doesn't have to be red. It could be pink. It could be look, it could be foil. Or even maybe black, or maybe you want the black to be on the back side or whatever. This is 8.5 by 11 inch paper. So where do I get this? A lot of people, when they're first starting out with their Cricut, and they're wondering what do they need. If you want a paper craft, the only thing you need is some cardstock. Don't use like construction paper. You can buy cardstock, which I call paper. Okay, I just call it paper, but cardstock is actually thicker. And it has like a poundage. Most cardstock these days comes in either 65 pound or up to like 80 pounds. And that's considered medium cardstock. Now that changes if you are in the UK. Okay, so just be aware of that if you're watching from the UK. That changes. They have a different way of doing their poundage. It's GSM. Okay, but since I'm in America, I will do the poundage thing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit continue, and then we get to choose what material. Oh, I forgot to mention. So I get this 8.5 by 11-inch paper cardstock, really, either at Joann's, and the name brand is Park Lane, or I also can get it at Michael's, and the name brand is Recollections. It's a great way to get started because they usually bundle it in 50 sheets, either all the same color, or sometimes it's like a selection of colors with a special name. Like they might have one for the fall, it's called Spice Market, or they might have holiday colors and it's like red and green. So you can buy them in these packs of 50, 8.5 by 11, and it costs like usually under $6. And they're often on sale. So just keep checking either Michael's or Joann's. If somebody knows Hobby Lobby, we do not have Hobby Lobby around here. So I don't know if Hobby Lobby's, but I'm pretty sure they probably do. I have not tested Hobby Lobby. I have only tested the Michael's and the Park Lane. Okay. So Michael's and Park Lane paper is considered medium cardstock. So we're going to hit browse all materials, and we're going to go to cardstock. That's what we're cutting out. You see here, medium, this light and medium, and there's also heavy right here. So most of our projects that I do are done in a medium cardstock, which is 80 pounds. Okay. And there's the GSM 216. Okay. And then if you have a lighter cardstock, which I don't often encounter, but you could use the light cardstock or the heavy cardstock. You'll also see this little star. That star means that it's my favorite. Okay. Which you can select your favorites. Let me just go back here so you can see you can have your favorites right up here, or you can also look at what other people are doing by hitting the popular side. Nah, I don't care what other people are doing. I like my own favorites, so I'm going to add medium cardstock, and you'll see also I have cardstock for intricate cuts and a number of other things. Now here, if I wanted to, if I felt like my blade was getting dull, and that is something you just kind of like feel for, you could also add a little bit of pressure and hit more. But it's not something I do all the time. And then I'm just going to take the paper. Where's my paper? Okay, here it is. And here's my mat. All right. And this paper, this part of the card, you notice it has scoring, it has writing, and then cutting. How do I know that? It says it right here on the side. So whichever one of these mats is highlighted, that's the one you're going to be getting ready for. So this one says I need to score, pen, and basic cut. Now I have a maker, just a regular maker, not a maker 3. And so I am going to be presented with the option of using a scoring wheel. We've talked about the scoring wheels before. And I just want to point out that you do not need the scoring wheel. And if you don't have a maker, you won't be presented with this option. But if you do have a maker, you need to edit the tool so that you can use what's called a scoring stylus. Here's a scoring stylus. So to do that, you go to edit tools, and you'll see here for score, I can either choose the wheel or the stylus. I'm going to choose the stylus. I always do for my cards because it's easier than having to take out my wheel and put it in. And if I'm doing something that has a lot of scoring on it, then I'll use my wheel. But in this case, it has one score line, so I'm not that interested in it, in doing all that. So I guess I'm a lazy I'm a lazy crafter. All right. So, and then you'll also see on here coming up, I need to have my pen ready. So let's go ahead and move over to my machine. Let's see. So here is my mat. And I'm using a green mat. I use mostly green mats, but there are really three other colors. There's a purple color that's a strong grip mat, and there's a blue color, which is a light grip mat. And then there's also a fabric mat, which we don't do a whole lot of fabric cutting, but that one's pink. So the green one is a medium or a standard grip mat. I'm going to go ahead and take and put my paper. You see how it's nice and stuck on there. Eventually the mats lose their stick and you can wash them. But there's really nothing like a brand new mat. And I am the most frugal person I know. And I have a hard time. I have a hard time throwing them out. So if anybody ever comes up with a great idea for what to do with mats, you let me know, because I don't know what to do with all these mats I have that don't hold their stick anymore. So, okay, we're going to put that in there and hit this button right here. You see it's flashing, and it's going to feed the machine. The machine's going to feed that mat in there, and you'll see that we've got the C is blinking. But before we go ahead and hit that blinking, we're going to put in the stylus, okay? And so you just take, this is clamp A, this is clamp B. So you open up the clamp on clamp A and you pop this in, and you have to, if you have a Maker or an Explorer, you have to make sure it's gonna lock. Usually makes a noise, but it's in there really well, you see? All right, then I'm gonna hit the C, the blinking C, and it's going to do the scoring. Now, the lineup that you saw on your screen, score, pen, cut, is the way that these things get done. So always scoring first, then pen, then cutting. So now it's stopped and it's telling me on my screen, take this out and put this in. So this is my regular black, it's a 0.4 tip, like it's more like a felt tip marker, and this is readily available. Some of you might have gotten it in your machine. So we're just going to put that in, close it, and we're going to hit the blinking C again. And now it did the scoring, and now it's going to do the writing. Oh, I needed a drink of water. Need a drink of water. Okay. Once it is done with the writing, as you can see, it's all like an outline of the writing. It's going to immediately go to the cutting process. I always take my pen out before that time. It's a weird habit that I have. So now what it's going to do is cut out the entire card, including all of that very detailed um, cutout that we have on the front here. Okay. So I'll just let that go and move you down here so you can see how to put this together. So here's the card. It's so basic. So here's the card. And you see there's the writing. It's got all of these cutouts here. And then there is the back. Again, if you wanted to change it and put like a flat, just a square in the back, you could do that too. But I do like the look of this card, and so I'm going to keep it this way. So there's my card, and here is the one that I cut out to show you. So this is what's cutting out right now. You see? And there is actually I made two. So there is I only need one. So there is this piece. So the first thing that we're going to do, actually the only thing we're going to do here, is we are going to line up this. This is the inside of the card, okay? So we're lining up the inside with this insert, just like this. This is where it's going to go. And you will need to just kind of go here with your fingers to kind of give it a nice crease there. And then we're going to take our glue Today I'm going to use this glue. And we are going to glue the back where that piece is going to go. Now, for this kind of a card, it's good if you could find uh, a tip that is good for intricate cuts. They're available in different designs. This is Barely Art. This is a precision tip. This is another glue that I really like to use called Art Glitter Glue. They have a precision tip. And then this is something I bought at Amazon, and it's for quilling. So I actually got like 12 of these bottles, and I think I paid less than $10 for them, and they do the intricate cutting very well. And what I did was I did fill it up with my extra glue that I had uh, in I think it was the art glitter glue that I filled this up with. So you see what I'm doing? I'm not saturating the card with glue, but I'm making sure that I'm putting a little bit on all these little nooks and crannies. All right, because what happens is if you don't, these pieces will kind of lift from your card, and it sometimes they rip, or they just make your card look less professional. So it does take a little while, but it's so worth it to just go through there. And you know, I take my time with things, but I also have little patience for stuff. But I always make it a point to do this. So while I finishing this up, I want to tell you about the rest of the week if you are new. So we do this every day at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So we go live every day, 9 o'clock Eastern time. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. So we're old pros at it. And you're welcome if you're new to get into the chat. You can chat either from Facebook or YouTube, okay? And there's no chat, obviously, after we do the video, we have what's called a replay. I'm going to move this, sorry. We have what's called a replay, and you can see and watch the replay over again if you missed it or you just can't make it, because I am on the East Coast, and I know that some of people watching on in California or whatever, so they can get the replay. So tomorrow on the show, we are going to make a shaker card. Shaker cards right now are so in, but I'm going to just show you a quickie shaker card that I made from an adorable fairy, a little fairy that was an image from Design Space. I'm going to show you how to use it, how to make it. If you want to make it with me, you're going to need a couple of things that normally we don't have. Obviously, you need paper because we're going to cut out paper, but you're also going to need some acetate. Acetate can be purchased. Cricut sells it, but also it usually comes in 12 by 12 inch pieces. And I'm going to use clear acetate, but there's also something called foil acetate. If you have that, you could certainly use that too. And we're going to use acetate. We're also going to be using double stick tape, or if you do not have double stick tape, we can also use foam mounting squares. So if you have not gotten your double stick tape yet, you can, and you can actually use glue, but I like double stick tape because I don't want my stuff to come out of my shaker card. So a shaker card is basically like an envelope card, and what you're going to need is stuff to put inside the shaker, whether it's like glitter, or there's also things like this. This came from the Dollar Tree. It's called tube confetti. So we're going to try out some of those things as well. So that's what you need for tomorrow's shaker card. Then on Wednesday, I believe it's Wednesday, we are making a cake topper. Now, this is a cake topper I've made before, but it was very delicate, very intricate. And since we now have offset, I'm going to show you how offset really lends itself to projects such as cake topper, and I'm going to show you how to put that together, where to find the images. That's Wednesday. Thursday we're working on coloring, and Friday's our freebie. We're going over to Barely Art Precision Craft Glue to get a beautiful winter owl SVG, and it's free. Okay. Now you notice it's dry over here. I should have worked faster. So I might need to, it's still sticky, but I might need to go back and put a little bit more glue. Like I said, I'm slow. So then we're just going to place this here on the back, press it down. Now here you see it did dry, so I'm just going to lift it a little bit and put a little bit more glue. Okay. Now, normally we meet on Saturday nights, and once a month we usually have a Zoom call. I think a lot of people wanted to do a Zoom call this past Saturday. I'm sorry. I was having my internet changed out. I had a new provider, and so I couldn't do it this Saturday. But so this coming Saturday will be our monthly Zoom call. And there's no theme or really rhyme or reason to the Zoom call. It's just a fun way for you to get on the on screen. And what I do is I usually will broadcast it. I think I'm trying to do it with this new software I have. So oh goodness. I'm trying to do it with the new software. So I'll talk to you, Lynn, and we'll get that set up. All right, stop. So there is our card. And here's the one we just made on the machine. Isn't that great? I will tell you, when you're taking this off of the backing, off of this is a pretty new mat. So what I would suggest is, so it's really sticky, is I would actually like bend like this, right? You see how it's bending and coming up? Now, here is where it's going to get a little hairy. So if you bend it and don't pull it like this, if you pull it like this, you're bound to rip it. And you can bend from the other side if you wanted to as well, just like this. And you will avoid ripping your card. Now, your card might be a little bit bendy here, which you can like even just put it on your flat surface and sort of just slightly manipulate it like this, or when you put that white piece on the inside, it will help to make it straighter. Okay, so that's it for today. And I hope that you enjoyed it. And let's see, this is just your reminder to get your name in for our giveaway, which I will post as soon as I'm done with the video. And let's see, and I hope to see you tomorrow again, or if not here, live, then on the replay. Definitely send me your notes, because I love to read the comments, and I don't always get to read the chat. That's why I have some people who kind of moderate my lives. Okay. So here I am. I'm just folding this. Okay, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Rita. This is my channel, Cricut Chat with Miss Rita. I'd so appreciate your time, and I hope to see you again really soon. Take care, everyone.